Hello.
Everybody, guys, how are you doing? Huh? Welcome. Oh my God, guys, I don't want to. I want to save my voice a little bit, okay? I'm a little bit low. Ooh. So, hello, everybody, welcome. It was a psych investigator. Hello. I do. It's so funny. I do have a bit. I still have a little bit. I thought it was, and don't worry about me, guys. Okay. I thought no, but yesterday it was like I still had a lot more. And I was like, it's okay. Oh, look, now that once I start talking, no, I put on, don't put makeup, no. Oh, never to put the makeup, no. I'm natural look, natural every day. No, but I was gonna say, guys, you know how it is after the worst is over. Okay, I have some. You can see the head. It's a head cold. So, but before I was like, ugh, you know, right now I'm not making an effort. I just want to make sure that it's like and I wanted to say, I planned for something maybe an hour, and if it goes longer, and you'll know. And I have here the drink. I have the drink here. Have it. So, so I was gonna say, um, oh hi Donna, Donna Eggman. Donna is an old friend. She just came back. Donna is an old friend. She just came back. Welcome back, Donna. Welcome back, Donna. It's so funny, guys. It's really because Donna, guys, it's funny. Now I feel like I'm also more at ease. I have songs like, it's kind of crazy. I'm crazier, more at ease, with my craziness. So, okay. So, okay, anyway. So, anyway, guys, I was going to say what I'm going to do. I think I'll be okay. Okay. I think I'll be okay. And if for whatever reason I feel like it feels like I'm tired or whatever, the voice isn't, I can't, yeah, I'm going to stop. But I think it's okay, we can start because it's kind of like, before I was like, I'm gonna do it, but then it really was not the point. I felt like I was not. I was gonna say, yeah. Yesterday, it just felt like I was talking on the phone with someone for a little bit, and I was like, I have to hang up because you know it's not there yet. But we can get started, okay? And also, guys, it's kind of depressing, if I don't listen. I think it's like if you're excited, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like okay. So okay, let's get started here. Let's get started. Okay, guys. So by the way, I have updated. I don't know if I updated right a few minutes before, but I saved again the new. I added all your questions. Oh, there's one. I'm sorry, I forgot. There's one question that's unrelated. It's a question. I'll just say it is a question about the kid who died in North Korea. It's by Villas. I'm just gonna make sure because when I read it, you know what I mean. I read it and I was like, I was like, I'm gonna include that, and then as a, and I wanted to say, guys, if you ever have questions, please. It's easier for me if you post it on the Patreon thing, just because I sometimes I forget. Honestly, I read it and then I was like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna add here. Okay, so one second, it's the last Garfield. Okay, so anyway, so it's kind of interesting. A lot. She has a question about Otto Vampir's family if they're gonna get. They started a lawsuit against the government of North Korea. So it's interesting. Okay, so okay, all right. So okay, okay. So what I did? All right, guys. So there, I updated, and there's a lot of questions as you saw. Okay, so let's see if I do a little bottom of a song, everybody. Miss Diva, Miss Diva to you, Miss Diva, Miss Diva to you, Susan, Susan, Susan Simmons, Barb, 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 A, Barb, 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 A, Cheryl Iverson, Cheryl Iverson, Cheryl Morris, Cheryl Morris, Delana in Tennessee, Delana in Tennessee. I'll see here more. Jennifer Rose, Jennifer Rose. I'll see more. I was just scrolling, guys. 1 second. Ellen Henry, Ellen Henry. More. See, okay. Donna, oh, did Donna Hagerman. Donna Hagerman. Okay, Jade LLR. Jade LLR. Doreen Arnold. Doreen Arnold. Those are strange voices today, huh? Okay, so now let's get started. Okay, so okay, guys. So as I was saying, there's a lot of questions today. It's nice because then it's kind of like moving, a little warm up. So okay, so then okay now okay guys now like I was saying, there's a lot of questions. Okay, so but the main and essentially it's like parts of the questions are about this one or two topics, which is like basically Trump's parade, A, and then B, what I said, what I wrote, yesterday, was that what to me was most apparent, and I was praying for rain, praying for the rain. I was praying, is that he was sick, okay, and that he was holding. There was something really artificial about it, okay, like that he's being held, like he's not able to keep it up. Guys, it's real. That's the truth, okay. And so it'll be really interesting. Okay, you'll be really interesting to see to what extent who do people know about it. So as you saw, if you go back there, okay, so I just want to know, what do they know? Does he have a doctor? What do the kids know? What does the GOP know? Do they have a plan? Do they not have a plan? And one of the last things I wrote, I was like, I asked, does he have some sort of treatment, or is it like Judy Garland, in the sense that he's being pumped, okay, to perform? Or do they not? I don't know. I mean, I'm not, I'm not, obviously, I'm not judging. Like, it's not, I don't like Trump, but I don't wish, it's kind of like, I don't wish him. I mean, obviously, I love him. I love him. I love President. I want to say, everybody, I was sick and I found Jesus, and I see said to me, Rose, embrace President. No, didn't happen like that. No, Jesus never, you know what I mean? Like, no, no. I am now evangelical. Evangelical, I follow Franklin Graham. Yeah. He said, President's good. I follow him. No, I don't. So, so you know what I mean? But it's like there's something really disturbing about. Obviously, he's an awful person, but also the fact that it seems like people are not like, if it was. I mean, I don't know. If I was I don't know. He would. I can't even imagine President Trump as your dad. No, he's creepy. So I can understand why the family would not care. Like, would want. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I don't know. I'm just kind of really curious about this. Okay, so that's what we're going to focus on. And then there's also a few other questions. Okay, as you saw, there's many questions from you. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm not gonna use cards, I think. Okay, I had my mom is cute. She got me cards. Now we can have conversations about it. We'll have conversations. It's nice. It's because I was like worried. My family thinks I'm like such a loser. Anyway, but it doesn't matter. But the point is that that okay, I'll go here. I'll go here. Okay, go back. The point is that um okay, let's start here now with the list. Okay, so first start with the parade. So okay, so I'm gonna suportar some of very light come into my head. As a breathe in, I feel my legs, a breathe out. Project light outward. I step into it. The circle of light, bring everybody in. More connected and protected. And the light does that only the good spirits connect with me, and that I create the good and only the good for everyone involved. Okay, so first, Carfon, is the question about the parade. So here, okay. So LK. We'll start actually with LK's question. I'm glad you'll be reading on the parade because then I reworded it, guys, to make sure that it's kind of connected. So, anyways, I'm glad you'll be reading on the parade. I've been wondering how Trump feels about it. How does he think it went? Okay, and guys, granted, okay, I think we all know that he's kind of like he's not well, but how did he think it went? Guys, it's so strange. So, it's really strange is that it's really like is that he's seeing it. Like, first of all, it showed me that during the thing that that plastic thing, whatever that was, the acrylic coverage thing, it kind of it prevented him from seeing things clearly. A. B, he has this ability, and guys, it's kind of amazing. Okay, if there's something quote unquote negative, he focuses on not the positive, but like he can. I was like, I seriously, guys, I saw that while this was happening, he was looking back at some of the Nazi movies he saw. There's some Hitler speeches, so he was imagining that he was being adored and people loved him, and part of it was not visible. And he's saying here that they were waiting for the rain to pass, but also to for some reason to be darker so that he would not see things very clearly, and they knew that he would be angry. It's almost like it's not that he would be angry that people weren't there, but if you repeat it to him, it's like for him what you say is almost as important as what actually happened. So if let's say there weren't that many people there, right, like compared to what they wanted, so and then let's say the assistant says, well, I'm sorry there weren't that many people there, you can't say it. You have to say there it was so full of people. You cannot, even if and he knows the truth, you can't repeat it. So it's kind of interesting. That's first thing. And then the second thing is that um he was there, guys. It feels like he was like a child. Honestly, he was kind of like a whimsical. Okay. And, oh my God, guys, can I tell you, this is the first thing that comes to my mind is bizarre. Have you seen this MTV show called My Sweet 16? God, it's so sad that we're at this, but that's what it looks like to me. It's this show where people, the well-to-do 16-year-old kids, have these very elaborate parties, and the parties are themed, okay, and it feels, some of it is kind of fun, but also some of it feels wasteful, okay. And it's a little bit like that. Like he was like, I want the military parade for my party. I want it. I want my party to have a military tank. Okay. And some of those kids, it's like you see the shows and they're like, oh, I wanted my party like this and such showed up. And it's like, wow, man, I did it, got it, whatever. And it's kind of cute, and not cute, but it's kind of like the teenagers, right? You kind of somewhat expect it, even if it's a little like they're like whatever, entitled. But with him, it's kind of like he knows I got what I wanted. Okay, you didn't. I have a bigger party than you did. Uh-huh. Because you know what I can do? I can go and I can call people and they do parties for me. Uh-huh. Oh yeah, they do. They do. They do. So can you imagine? It's kind of like that. Okay. So he's not aware. And honestly, guys, I think okay, does this mean that I mean, what is the difference between what he's seeing? Is this some sort of megalomania or is he dementia? What is it? What is the difference? Is there a difference? He's always been megalomaniac, But now what you're saying, they're saying to me, what you're describing is him seeing the whole thing with Hitler and he being able to see, to step into a historical moment. It's kind of like dementia. They're saying the time. Guys, remember before I said the thing about the time, not understanding what time it is or what era, or regressing or going back in time and everything, and assuming that there's this kind of like, how do I explain this? It's as if whatever you're living everything that happened in the past. You know what I mean? It's like there's no, he can't tell what is the present, what is the past. That's kind of a problem. Yeah, that's a problem. No, I think. Okay. All right. So let's move on because there's many parts to this question. Okay. So immediately afterwards, Trump's camp was using fake photos in the background to make it look like he was busier than he was. How busy was it really? Because you just see, guys, that was one of the horrible, even there's like a lot of bad things, but right away, they came out with a commercial the day after, but right away they had these photos that showed like he was really busy. And then on Twitter, they were saying how those photos came from the Women's March and another march, and that the people were wearing hats in the background. It's hard to see, but that's what they were saying. And it's like, oh my God, can you imagine? The while this was happening, I was on Twitter, and people apparently there was some sort of camera in the White House. You could not the White House that overlooks that, and it's public, and you can see what is going on at any given time. And it was turned off. In other words, they knew that there was not going to be enough people, and they knew they had to like own the, you know what I mean? Tell the story. So okay, so how many people were there? I feel like, guys, in the end, and towards the end, it was kind of there was like a lot of empty spots because I mean, I think you need to have a lot of people, okay, to really fill it up, especially after that rain. So it was not that busy. Okay, I mean, it was not empty, no, but it was not full. It's just that they wanted to create, guys, it's so sad. They wanted to create this story. And it's, guys, the whole, think about it. They have a whole propaganda department going to create the fake reality, right? And even the commercial, I didn't think it was very hopeful. There is a guy behind, and everything about the commercial, even it was like smoke and mirrors. It was weird, okay? So it was not, it was kind of creepy. Anyway, so this is the story. Okay, so now it was not that full, but they can't accept, this is what propaganda is, guys. You create the fake, you know, the fake thing. But at the same, and I was thinking, guys, I don't know if you're familiar with Leni Riefenstahl. She's the propagandist who created the Hitler film. Triumph from, I've watched it. Triumph from the Wheel, and it's all beautifully shot, and it's one of those, it's one of those conundrums of art, the history of filmmaking, because the images are beautiful. Does the end justify the means, right? But there's nothing beautiful about the stuff they capture with Trump. That's the difference. There's nothing to frame as beautiful, or like, it's just really, I don't know, it's just fake. Okay. All right. So, okay. So, all right. Next. Okay. So, okay. So, Christine has a question. Why did the military go along with Trump's military? Guys, are you there? I don't know. I don't see any. I hope you're. Sometimes I'm like paranoid that it's not going on, but I hope you can just say yes, whatever. If you can hear me and stuff like that. I turned off the mail. Who knows? Maybe you. Yeah, you are. Okay, good. Good. Sorry. Okay. So okay. No, thank you. Thank you. Okay. So now the question about Christine's question about the military. Why did they go along? Why did they go along? Why did the military go along with it? Why couldn't they say no? Okay, just kind of, I kind of feel like we're right. So don't worry about it, guys. No, just listen. No, it's good. It's just because I was like, oh my God, did it fall? Did it go off or something? Okay, so why couldn't they say no? I'm just kind of theorizing here, okay? Why did the military go along with it? Why didn't they say no? Saying they were saying no. They were saying no. But there's some things they can't say we're not gonna do something, okay? Um, there's just not there. Like they can't just be like, oh no, 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 no. Like, okay, so and at the same time, I feel like they have to have some sort of like I don't know that, someone asked you, I forgot who it was, something like, does the military have a plan? Or I forgot who, I think it was Cheryl, Miss Iverson. She said something like, is the military oh no, that's not what I'm sorry, what was I gonna say? Oh, this is what I remember what she asked. No, no, a couple, I don't know exactly when she asked this, but she said it was this discussion about whether the Russians trust psychics or use psychics. And she said, if the Russians use psychics, do they know of the military's plan to remove Trump? And I wrote back to her, I said, well, what I had seen is not that they have a plan, is that it happens as a result of something has to be done. They don't have a plan. But my sense is that they can't say no to him. They can't thoroughly deny what he's doing, and they have to keep protecting the country. But they can kind of like give a floppy kind of answer to things. You know what I mean? They cannot show. They didn't show up. The big people didn't show up. It said, and it was said, it was in the papers. They said they were not going to go. They didn't go. I think the people in the Joint Chiefs didn't go. So they just had to, like, you know what I mean? It was one of those moments. But they are doing things in the background. They're saying to themselves, our role is to be in the background. We'll continue to be in the background. We don't want to create a necessarily. They know, they're like, we know, they know they're under attack. They know that Trump hates, because guys, they're saying they had screaming arguments with him, and they would rather keep the thing going. How do I say this, guys? I feel like they're committed to protecting the country. They feel like the country is under attack in a very veiled kind of, behind the scenes, right? And at the same time, oh, interesting. They're saying here they're sort of like Pelosi in the sense that they don't want to they don't want to create division. They don't want to say I'm not with the president. They're saying like we're just doing our jobs. They're saying you don't understand how the military is. Like the military never does anything like this. They never decline to be, in those kinds of things unless it's really egregious, and they did in their own way. But they can't be like, no, no, I'm not going. They cannot. They're not like the Congress. You can't just be like, "Hello, CNN, huh? Trump, he's gonna shut down." No, I'm not gonna do that, bitch. I got better things to do. No, no, they can't do that. Okay, so that's the story. Okay, that's the story. They're annoyed. They're angry. And they're saying like he's trying to cut the VA. He's trying to do a lot of things, not just criticizing the military in public, but in private, he's trying to cut pension, stuff like that, like things that actually hurt soldiers' everyday lives on top of security. So he's very upset. They're upset about it. Okay. All right. Now let's move here. Okay. Now, and this is my question. So how does the military, the Joint Chiefs, and other top military leaders? Sorry, guys, I'm gonna have to gurgle a little bit. Okay. Sorry. Sorry about that, guys. I think I'm 1 second. Okay. Just some irritation. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Oh, I really want to do this, guys. I'm gonna keep going a little bit, okay? Oh, don't this be okay. I'm gonna put my hand here. Project the light. Project the light here. Let's clear the cold. If there is any barriers to this reading, if my throat is irritated, and I no longer need this irritation throat. This does not define me. No, it's not necessary to have these reactions, okay? So we're gonna be okay going forward. And then we're gonna rest. Okay. All right. So okay. So sorry, I was talking to myself here. Okay. So okay, now how does the military feel about the parade after the fact? Okay. How does the military feel about the parade after the fact? The guys, it's so interesting. They're almost angrier because they're seeing how much money he spent on this bullshit, and he didn't. They're like they didn't even use the population didn't even see. Did you see this? That the tanks was only for the VIPs. It wasn't for the population. Usually those military things are for everybody. Okay, they're not. Usually when military types of countries like that do these things, they want everybody to see it. In this case, it was just, but they're like, he didn't even care, and they didn't use it, and it's money that they're cutting from the budget that could go to so many important things, and it's being used for this. It's like it's the government of this rich guy who wastes his money constantly, and now he's wasting the taxpayer. They're very angry at the cost. Guys, you know what's showing me here? Oh my God, it's even worse. We don't even know what, I guess, apparently. Remember the whole thing about his inauguration, how there's all this money? Same here, guys. There's all these costs, and a lot of it is billed to, it's like Trump's hotel or something, or like the cater. You know what I mean? That he made sure that his businesses got some business with the government for this, or like either like I was saying, catering or something, so that he could like, oh, you can, I can like invoice the government for it. So they're gonna find, they're like, I can't. He's invoicing the military. Can you imagine? So they just furious with the expenses more than anything, and how he wastes money and how corrupt he is. Okay, okay. So next, okay. Now the next question, and this is not, should I do this, guys? Maybe I will do this question, okay, because then after this come the questions about, what, let me just see here. I know, because if I don't do it now, I'm not going to do it. Okay. So Villas has a question. She has a question about Otto Vambier. I know one time one of you asked me about him, like how he died, and I was like, I don't want to look into it. I think I did once look into it. It's like, especially now I'm a little sick. I don't want to look. No, but it's not going to look. I'm not gonna. I don't need to know that. But what Villas said, that his family is suing the North Korean. What was it? It was something like there was a shipment of something in North Korea. Let me see here. What was it? Otto von Bier's family files claim for seized North Korean cargo ship. What will happen? Okay. So, because guys, and like I said, I feel like that kid, obviously should not have gone to North Korea, but what happened to him is absolutely awful. And did you see that did you even see, whenever I looked into this story, that he paid $2 million? Supposedly he gave the North Korean government $2 million for his body, and he was already dead, pretty much. Like, isn't that kind of like, how is this going to, let's just do this. How is the story of Otto von Bier going to end for his family? Okay. Let's say, regardless of what the government does today, who knows, because if Trump leaves, things could change. But what's going to happen to Otto von Bier's claim to this? So they made this claim. Oh, and guys, it's so sad. Like, oh my God, did you notice? I heal myself. Yeah. I was like, throat, no. Now I talk normal. It's over. No, anyway. So, guys, what's so interesting? I see that, like, I see Trump, the family writing like a thing, the claim or whatever, and there's this big ship, and Trump is like, no, 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 wait, 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 no, 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 I don't want to hear, I don't want to hear. So Trump is protecting North Korea as long as it's the government. He's like, no, because guys, you know what it is? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I can't even. I'm not to blame the Russians for everything, isn't the point, but he got from the Russians this idea about propaganda. So I've said this before, but now as he becomes more official, everything he does is all about perception. Honestly, he has no interest other than creating. He's sadistic, so he wants people to suffer. But other than that, everything he does is about creating an image of his government. So this is why he likes the guy from North Korea, because, like, oh look, we're going to do this. He loves those communist things, whatever. How he supposedly hates socialism, but he loves these old communist countries that have this, like, parades and all those things. You know what I'm talking about? Like, boom, boom, boom. He wants it like that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird, but that's it. He's like, no, I need him for my narrative. He's thinking to himself, no, 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 no. I don't want any trouble with North Korea, because this is gonna be my thing. We're gonna be friends. And just as a refresher, guys, I forgot, this past week I did this reading on, because you remember the whole thing, he went to North Korea. I forgot which reading it was, but it said that the reason why he did this was because Putin asked him to go there. Okay, A, and then B, It was because he wants to like, and this I think I didn't say it at the time, but it's clear to me that Putin always orchestrates these things right after meetings in the European Union, and the purpose of this is to make Europe look small. Is to make the journalists not talk about Europe, but like North Korea or anything. It just happens to be North Korea, so that they think everybody starts to think they want Putin wants the perception that Europe is not very powerful, like so this is why, and Trump believes it. He's like, no, I need him for propaganda film. You go later. He has, I've said before, guys, one of the most surprising things I did, I forgot which, it was another recent reading. I think it was the one about the G20, the reading about G20, where it said that he doesn't, he doesn't, oh, this is the whole thing with the military. He does not have any ability to stand up against those people that Putin tells him to, whatever Putin tells him to do, he kind of tries to do it. So he doesn't really have any ability to like, oh, please can you give me, there's no diplomacy for him. Either it is the people he attacks and everybody else. Okay, so this is a story. Now, what about afterwards? What is he gonna do? Oh, guys, so interesting. It shows that after he leaves, there's gonna be more event. Over time, we're gonna find out about the deals with Putin and what Putin told him about the North Koreans. And there's gonna be somebody in the administration, I don't know who, but somebody who works for him with Trump who would eventually talk about this whole thing. And I think Otto Vampier's family is going to sue the Trump estate, because no, state is for dead people, but you know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna have, the government is gonna take it. Guys, you remember what happened with Madoff? Do you remember this story that like that all of Madoff's money was put into they had to sell everything, right? So it was put into a big pool of money, and then there was all these people suing so something similar may happen to Trump here, okay, where he's going to people, but so anyway, so I think I see them eventually, going on a stage and being happy for the outcome. It may go in the other direction. I said, guys, it's so, oh my god, this is like, it's interesting. Sometimes these readings happen unexpected, but like I just wanted to say, so going forward, I said this before, that I don't think Kim lives very much longer. Yeah, I see that Kim is going to be dead by the time this happens, and oh, I see that they are invited there to ask for forgiveness for what happened, and they're like, yes, stuff like that. But they sued Trump's estate. Stuff comes out about, I'm gonna have goosebumps. So it's kind of interesting. It's definitely not. It's the other. I think as long as the Trump administration is going on, nothing is going to happen, unfortunately, because he protects Kim. I mean, we're not shocked, right? That's been like this. But after, then, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So it's kind of interesting for Americans. So this is it. This is a story. Now let's go back to the other topic of the reading. Okay. Um, I'm going to read this, what I wrote. The most glaring element of this parade, to me anyway, was how unwell he really is. He won't be able to go on for much longer. The symptoms seem to be getting harder and harder to hide. The parade videos show that he needs to hold on to the podium for balance. And one person, and guys, this part, it was it was not related to the parade, but it was another video. I can't find it right now, but it was one of these people. It was not Dr. Brown. It was somebody else. I think his name is Tom something, and it was a photo of Trump, and he was walking on his suit, and he was wearing. It really looked like a padded suit in the back. It was kind of strange. It really was. It was kind of like as if there was like a thin. I'm just trying to think. It's hard to explain it. It's just like a thick thing behind, in the back. And the guy was saying this. He could be wearing a brace for balance. And I'm like, I don't even know. I'm obviously not a nurse or a doctor, but I thought it was really interesting because when I saw, guys, I was looking at the footage. Not that I did not watch it, I cannot watch it, but it was like right after they were showing it, and it showed that he was holding on to the thing. He was not just resting his hand; he was holding on to it. Okay. So it's pretty clear that there is something going on. Okay. All right. Now let's ask question now about Trump's health. And there's a lot of questions, these guys, the intricacies of the health and what's going on, and who knows what. Okay. Okay. So Guys, you know what I'm thinking here? That's right, Suzanne. J. Chicago. This is it. That's it. The Tom J. Exactly this guy. Yeah, he had the image of the thing out of the suit. I don't know if you saw it or remember it. I haven't forgotten it. I was like, wow, this is pretty serious because it did look weird. The suit, from his. It was not because he was quote unquote fat or whatever. It was just it real looked like there was something underneath the suit that made it look weird, and it's like in the back. It's strange. You know what I mean? So anyway, so if you go to this person on Twitter, you're gonna have informations. So okay, now let me go back here, guys. So I'm looking at these questions. I have a question about the question. So I was like, it's mostly about his dementia, but do you think I should and that at some point I added a question about his health overall. Maybe I should start with the health overall and then focus on the dementia. What do you think? I don't know. I kind of feel like, right, it starts with a bigger picture and then go to the dementia, who knows what. Okay. So, okay. I think so. I think I'm going to do that first. Quickly, a scan. Not everything, every tiny thing he has, but what is the overall picture of his health right now? Like mental and all the otherwise as well. Okay. What's going on? What is his energy level like? What is going on? And okay, and then there's a question of drugs, but let's just see if they can give me the information what's going on. Okay, so President, I need information about your health here for us. Sorry, I wish you well, but let's find it. Okay. So guys, okay, now okay, oh no, now I just ask one more question here, okay, about the balance. What is causing his balance issue? Okay, what is causing the balance issue? This brain thing. Okay, so it's okay, guys. There's a lot. I'm like, didn't want to the full exam, but I'll just say, okay. So there's like a log. I'm like, I know, and I swear to God, I have compassion for President Trump, even though I don't like him. Okay, I'm not wishing him negative anything. Okay, so okay, so guys, yeah. So just quickly, there's a lot of things going on. So then I saw this is bizarre. The tongue thing like this, okay, is like he's very thirsty. Okay, he's like, I'm thirsty, and I swear I felt like I saw the glands that produce the wetness of the mouth, or there's something where it feels like literally it's also that there is two glands here, right here. I think, I don't know, that's kind of like what I'm seeing like this. Okay, like around here there's a two glands. They're like, it's almost like there's see, there's a delay between the brain and those, so the things don't, it's almost like the brain doesn't regulate this so well. It's kind of like a delay. Okay, so it's almost as if Sally Vargas, right? But I don't know that there's a connection, but it's just weird. Like, what I understand, guys, is that when we speak, right, it's like immediate, right? We talk. but it's like it's almost as if, for example, I want to say something and I'm going to say something, and the brain, it takes a while for the brain to let the like the mouth know or whatever, and that is like this there's something related here. Okay, that's part one. Now there is this dryness of the mouth or whatever, right? Yeah. So then there's another thing. So then I saw he has something in the throat, is like this kind of like the dryness of the mouth. There was something like that. Then he has an enlarged, I saw, and they said enlarged heart. And then I saw, guys, I it's not a secret. I have ADD, whatever. I'm prescribed, what is it called? Adderall, the same thing that is amphetamine, basically, right? Like essentially, but I have a low dosage. I don't have, you can see I don't have any like, look at my pupils are like it's not like it's just, but guys, I saw his hands, he has like all these pills. Like he takes a lot, like a lot. And I'm like, whoa, he has at least like I don't know, more than, oh my God, it's like a lot. So I think he may be addicted to those, because guys, if you have this, if you think about how much, because if you have ADD and you take a lot of these things, in order for it to hit higher, it's almost like, how do I explain this? It's like you have to have a lot, because it's almost as if this stuff affects you a little bit less than a normal person. So he must be taking like, I'll tell you, I take, what is it, 40 grams a day. He must be taking like 180 or something. I don't know how to explain it. I have a sense that he is like, is really crazy the amount that he takes these things, guys. Like he's really like candy or something. It's kind of crazy. Honestly, I'm like, whoa. Because it's somehow suggesting that the heart, it's affected by the fact that he takes all these drugs. Like honestly, and he's been taking them for years. Okay. So the enlarged heart has to do with this a little bit. Like he used to be able to rely on these things. And like I said, guys, he takes like ridiculous amounts. I'm like alarmed just by the amount of the things that he's taking. I mean, granted that it's like he's taking it as drugs. Part of it is that I think he was unmedicated or undiagnosed before, but I think it's like then he became like addicted, and it's like, and he doesn't, this is the other dangerous thing I see here, guys, is that he doesn't understand that before he used to, it's like I have this thing, like kind of like you have a headache, you take the thing, right? But for him, it used to, like the symptoms he's feeling used to kind of like, if it, okay, okay, okay. Let me just finish what I'm saying. I'm not going to read the comments because it's not okay. So no, I don't think that MBN, no, I'm sorry, MBN, I'm confusing like the thing, but like Adderall can cause, like that's not, forget, guys, let's not go on side roads. Okay, let's not go on side roads. I understand. I'm not going to look at, because I don't want to have to like answer to the right. I just wanted to say what I see. So this is unrelated, guys. I think and someone asked, said on what comment, they said his mom had dementia too. So it's, you know what I mean? It's not, I don't think, maybe what, I just have to give you the picture. Okay. So this is the enlarged heart. And then it said he has an enlarged prostate. Okay. Also, so he has trouble with peeing or something like that, going to the bathroom. And in a way, there's this whole thing of like he has a lot of water, and he just feels like like he's, problem swallowing. Something about his throat. I don't know. There's some, I don't know. It's complicated. A lot of things here. Okay. Okay. And the other thing about the balance is related to the brain. Okay. Definitely related to the brain. And that's that. Okay, so this is just the thing. So he's kind of like losing his first. So it's sort of like he's a drug addict essentially. That's what it looks like to me. And at the same time, these things happens with age. Also, the thing with, he was, part of it is like, guys, and I'll tell you, I'm a little bit scared of this myself, because it's showing here that it's about this, the part where is a frontal lobe. Okay, which is also, I believe, I could be wrong, but the thing about ADD is also the front, is like the focus. Okay, so it's part of like the picture of, it's like okay, ADD prevents you from focusing, but the dementia is like this increasing 100 times of the ADD effect. Okay, so it's like your brain loosens up, loses the screws more, and it becomes, because the whole thing about extreme, like especially men that have ADD, they have problems with like containing impulses. They have problems with like they just it's like moving like and doing, that's the he has that. So but the dementia, it happens like similar, it's kind of connected in some ways, but I don't I you know and it's not the point of like speculating whether the drugs cause, it's not the point like what caused I'm showing what he has now. Okay, so that's the extent of these things. Okay, so I don't think that drugs can cause. I don't know, guys. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I know that there's other drugs, and that's the point of the discussion. But drugs like LSD in the '60s, right? Some people they went crazy. They took these drugs, they never came back. So there's other different drugs that cause these type of things, but I don't know. And that's not the point, to speculate what drug, whatever. So let's move on now and focus on the dementia. But he does have all these things. Oh, and the other thing I saw, guys, he has some sort of nerve damage. I don't know that he has the because he eats a lot of junk food. I don't know that he has diabetes, or there's something here where like his circulation is bad. And I think, oh, do you remember? Oh, now it makes sense. Do you remember the thing I was telling you guys? He's doing this thing with his hands. This was a couple, or like the day that I saw the thing about the dementia, and this explains it, the circulation and something about the, when and the nerve endings start to be, this is something connected to diabetes. So there's something about the nerve, there's a lot of nerve damage. Okay, connected. So there's the picture here of what's going on with him. So anyway, so now let's go back to the dementia situation, the brain. Okay, but that's what's going on with him. Okay, so okay, now now let's go to this. How much does Trump inner circle know of his likely dementia? Are they doing anything about it? Is he under some kind of treatment slash drug regimen to hide his symptoms? So and by guys, I after this I ask about his kids, but I want to know about his inner circle. That it may include his family, but all the people he works with. Okay. So you know what I mean? So let's find out. Okay, so what about his inner circle? What do they see? What do they know? Wow, guys. So, okay, so the inner circle question, I didn't even get to the second part of the question. It's kind of intense here. So, what I'm seeing, guys, is kind of like, oh my God, I'm kind of alarmed. I feel bad. Honestly, I feel bad for him. I don't love him, but I'm like, whoa. They're observing that he is like, and I'm like, whoa. If he has to walk long distances, there have to be people near him, and he kind of leans on people to make it look like and this is when guys, the thing about Ivanka, the reading that I did about Ivanka, and by the way, I did the timestamps, but I still have to add a couple things I haven't posted. But that was a little disturbing, that reading sometimes. But one of the things he said that was surprising to me is that he sees Ivanka kind of as a nurse or as a mom. Okay, and it makes sense that she's around because she's family, right? So it's not embarrassing for him to hold on to her. And so that's kind of the idea here, is that there has to be somebody with him if he is walking more than a few steps. Okay, because he feels like he gets lost, he goes in a different direction, or he kind of like oh my God, fallen. That sounds crazy. Like he's like, it's like, whoa, like he's like dizzy. Okay. And he's like, he gets scared. Like oh my God, guys. And I see the fear in him that, he's projecting an image, right, of this tough guy, whatever. And at the same time, his body's literally losing control. So on the one hand, he knows that this is involuntary. It's not like he knows when it comes. But at the same time, when his conscious self catches the disease, he denies it. What's so interesting? So it's kind of like if you say to him, "Look, Trump, we need a nurse with you." He is never going to accept it, because to him, To admit that he's sick is to think that the whole game is over for him. You know what I mean? It's a very complicated man. I mean, he's already crazy in some ways, but it's very difficult for him. So this is why he doesn't like to have anything overt. Okay, him himself. Okay, now let me the other part of the question is, but anyway, so they're observing. There's this young woman, I think her name, I've seen her face before. She's in her 20s. She used to be his executive assistant. She's not like super beautiful as like how, but she's pretty. She's like Madeline or something, I think her name is. And she's like they observe it, and somebody new there, or some people, she's like, they're asking her, has he always been like this? She's like, no, when I first started he wasn't. He was, it was kind of, he has President Trump, he's a little crazy, but he was not like this. And now she's like, whoa, like they're scared for him. Honestly, they feel for him, but not just feel for him, they're scared that something could happen. Okay, now, wow. Okay. Oh my god, guys, I have so many questions, but almost okay. So, are they doing anything about it? Is he under some kind of treatment? Okay, now, I guess now, guys, since his family is there with him, let's just go now to the question of the family. Because first, this was what I first saw was the environment in the White House. So now, looking at his family, is the family doing anything about it? Like Ivanka, Jared, Don Jr., Eric, or what are they doing? Are they doing anything about it? My God. Okay, so does he have a doctor? What doctor? There's a what? Okay. Guys, okay, several things. Kind of scary here, okay? First of all, I think there's a room there in the White House, sort of like subterranean, or there's a doctor there at all times who not lives there, but he works there. There's an in-house doctor kind of thing, so that he doesn't have to go anywhere, which makes sense. Every president should have a doctor. And other people who work in the White House, they can also go. You know what? I used to work in a company that had like, it was a big bank, so there was a place where you could go if you had something small like a cold, or like you could, like that's similar, something like this. So that's what it looks like. There is a room. I see there's like relatively simple doctor that they trust, but it's like not a, obviously it's not a huge hospital or anything. So he's just of this, right, like the one I, back in the when I first worked at Citigroup or something, they had like one of those in one of the buildings I was, okay. So they have that now. Now the thing, guys, is that wow, he needs treatment. Okay, I'll just say it. He needs treatment. I'm sorry, like I know it sounds like it's kind of crazy. I think he needs treatment. Okay. He really does, for the heart, or he needs to take specific medicines. And he does have, oh my God, guys, it's so sad. I'm not, like I said, it's not that I'm like, oh, president, I don't know, or anything like that, but I'm sad for him because, he has this drug addiction. And if he doesn't take the drugs, he's like, "Oh, blah, blah," you know what I mean? He can't at this stage. It's like that. And I swear, guys, and I see, and I just say, I'm not, please take it with a grain of salt, everything I say, but I swear to God, Ivanka knows, they know that there's been a real decay. But Ivanka, guys, and I'm not saying, as you saw the other reading I did, the very hardcore reading that talked about their, the sex, maybe sex abuse, whatever it was that happened. He's kind of he's creepy, he has like weird sex stuff, whatever. But anyway, that I saw the one reading about Ivanka, but not because, in other words, like, I think he's done bad things for her, and he has demanded too much of her. But what I see now is like that she knows, and she's, oh my God, it's so creepy, guys. Can I tell you? She's sadistic also. She sees that he's suffering, but she kind of likes it, that he's like going downhill, because she's sick, guys, and immediately I got this image also of a movie I saw There's a German movie director called Fassbinder, and he's famous for a trilogy. And I don't. There's three movies. One is about. It's called is that the marriage of Maria Brown. The other one is I forgot. But the third one is about this woman. What is it, guys? I have to find it. But it's in black and white, and it's this movie about this woman who was a big actress before the Nazi era or during the Nazi era, I don't remember, and she's kept in a home, and the nurse kind of ends up killing her. And it's kind of like, guys, it sounds like, let me just, the Veronica Voss, I think it's called Veronica Voss. Let me just double check it. Veronica Voss Fassbinder. That's right. It's really creepy, guys. I'll have a link here. Yeah. Die Sehnsucht der Veronica Voss. Okay, so this is like kind of creepy, a very creepy movie. I don't recommend it, but this is the movie. This is the link here. So in this movie is this woman. She was like this famous actress, and she was considered mentally ill, but I don't know that she really was because she was drugged all the time. And they were like, "Oh, we're only here to take care of you. Hello, Miss Voss. If I were you, I would do exactly as you're told." Like all this like kind of really creepy. So it's kind of like that's how Ivanka feels to me, like the nurse that killed the woman. I'm not saying that Trump, is not a bad person at all, which he obviously is, but I feel like Ivanka kind of sees, and she's not, because if you were, how do I say this? If you're, let's say your parent, right? Like let's say it's hard for me. I don't know. I'm not in this position, but I mean, let's say your dad is, let's say, a CEO of a big corporation, and his health is really bad. Most children would say, "Look, Dad, I'm sorry. I know you have to do all this work. Maybe this is the time to retire. This is the time to retire ahead of all these things, right?" You would probably try to tell your parent that retirement is the best option, that this demands too much of him, but she doesn't do it. She knows he's stubborn and doesn't want to admit it, but she doesn't. How do I say this? She knows, guys, and this is the thing about Ivanka, that I get the thing, like, where she's almost like him, in that way, that she's like, I'll take over from him. And because she and they are all in deep legal trouble, they figure, this is, and it couldn't, like, okay, guys, you saw the reading I did about Ivanka. She's not gonna go to what is it called? She's not gonna become president or whatever it was, a VP thing. That's not gonna happen. Also, because, by the way, I also saw. I asked how he thinks about Pence, and he's afraid of messing with Pence because the Putin loves Pence. Okay, and a lot of people, the Russians, like him, and they don't trust. Do you remember, guys? The Russians don't really trust Jared Kushner, and that's what Ivanka Trump is. Okay, right? It's Jared in a way, in a female version. So anyway, so this is it. She's not, maybe she can't stop him, but she's kind of taking advantage. And as at first, guys, I'll tell you, I was really annoyed and be like, oh, so people are saying that he wanted Ivanka's going to be VP. I was like, no, she's not going to be VP. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe this whole story is planted by her. Because, guys, I saw that they're so, think about, okay, just think about the situation they're all in. They are about to go be arrested. Every single one of them is going to be arrested. I mean, think about it. There's no way, guys. It's not like one crime. It's like hundreds of crimes these people committed their whole lives. They have a lot of powerful enemies. Forget about us. Think about all these people, rich people. They have, like, imagine, just think about Jeff Bezos hates. I'm not saying that I'm not like thinking Jeff Bezos is an angel or anything, but think about all the powerful people that want to see your, like, think about it. There's a lot of people who are like, in the government, in not just Democrats, but like Republicans. Did you see, by the way, guys, Jeb Bush? I was like, whoa. He's on the July 4th. He was like, on July 4th, three presidents have died. Did you know that? He said I was like, whoa, Jeb Bush for reals? I was like, damn. It's not like he was listening. He was, those things. I was like, whoa. But anyway, so what I was saying, guys, is that being in Trump's position, Ivanka's, they know something bad's coming. So the presidency is like this this plastic cage that puts them in a high position. Nobody can get them. So I can see how she tries to push more and more, okay, that more power and more things. So let me just ask this actually. I know this was not on schedule. By the way, guys, we have like 18 minutes or so, but let me just. So is Ivanka deliberately preventing him from taking medicines or not trying to take care of him? And, or is she, now that he's becoming more, dementia is getting worse, is she trying to push stuff that she wants for herself? What's going on? I see, guys, that she's giving him names of enemies. Like, oh, this is a bad person. This is a good person. And it's like she's running the same like him. She's running a PR operation to make herself look good. That's what she's doing. Because she, guys, it's like they all are. They don't want to deal with reality, the reality of crimes. So they are willing to stay. They want to stay in the, guys. They want to stay in the government as long as possible, because guys, they can't go back to New York. And I don't mean that, that they can't, there's any criminal, I mean, there is criminal problems, but so New York society does not welcome them. Okay. So it's like they're never going to have the life they used to have, because they're now pariahs. Okay. And so oh my God, they're desperate. Okay. I think they're desperate. Okay. So that's that. They're just as bad as Trump, if not worse in some ways. Okay. No, it's not worse. I don't want to say worse, but that's it. They're all in trouble, and they're kind of like, oh my God, I don't even want to. Can you imagine? This family is terrible. My God. I don't feel bad for them, whatever, but it's like, wow, it's the, it was really nasty there or whatever, right? So I just feel like because I saw this bottle of pills, guys. Like he's supposed to take heart medicine. He's supposed to do these different things. He doesn't do it, and she doesn't care. Honestly, she's not doing any. In other words, but at the same time, guys, like I was saying, if if they remove the drugs from him, he can't perform. Okay, so but we should go back. Goes back to the question. So, okay, what do they know about his mental? Okay, tell me, how much do they know about his mental deterioration, especially Ivanka, right? Because obviously she used to know him before he had this. What does she know about his level of mental deterioration? Guys, I see that she's starting to first of all, she knows there is really bad. He's starting to talk. Remember the thing I talked about the military, right? He's starting to tell people what Putin told him on the phone. Putin said that, we should stop. He starts to like not, because I was telling before, the frontal lobe is like you don't have the ability to stop impulse control. That's right. So he says the things that scare him. So he talks about it, what's his name a lot, Putin. He talks about like he's just being very, not just indiscreet, but he's talking about his fears. And at the same time, I feel like they change his schedule according to his, not his mood, but how out of it he is. Okay. So she knows that he's starting to get really confused, and the balance thing. So on the one hand, guys, it's like the movie Veronica Voss. Oh my God. She makes herself useful so she could get something more for herself. You know what I mean? So she can find out more information and pass information to Jared. And I don't know, guys, it's really like bad. Okay. So she knows that he's not well at all, not just well physically for the heart and for the prostate. And he's sweating a lot. It's not just that, is that he's starting to get very confused. And this is like she's more and more. And do you remember, guys, the thing about John Kelly? And I remember I read the book about Fire and Fury or something. And another book I forgot, I think it was the Kushner Inc. book that I read. They were saying that Ivanka and Jared were always around. They were always hovering. They were always in the room. They were always, and now she's doing more because he is sick. It's sort of like, think about it. If a person is ill like that, then the family member, who would not give the family member preference, right? Everyone. So this is he's kind of getting confused, but it's the kind of thing that it's not like all the time, but he gets confused, and you know what I'm talking about, right? So she notices it. She knows. So she's trying to get things her way. And okay, oh, did I even ask this question, guys? Okay, let me just ask a quick question. Is Ivanka's sudden prominence her idea or Trump's idea? I'm curious. Okay, I know he loves her, he trusts her, but part of me think about it. I think she wants it because what I'm seeing here is that he's more malleable than usual. Okay. So I'm thinking, okay, was Ivanka's new prominence something she herself suggested, or something that is he pushing her to do it, or is she whispering to him? Oh my god. Guys, I see that she's sort of like I said, he is sick, so he needs somebody he can trust. But she's like, Daddy, there's a G20 coming up, and Jared was saying that MBS is going to be there. And I want to catch up with him. And, like, it would be great if we did it as a family trip or something. And then she doesn't, she's not as specific as saying, like, I want to be on that panel. But she just kind of like gives the idea, throws the idea in the air. In Portuguese, we say jogar verde. That means throw green. In other words, you kind of like throw something. I think in English, it would probably be like a trial balloon. She surfaces the idea, and Trump, of course, because he feels afraid, he feels vulnerable, he knows he's vulnerable, so he wants her around, so he makes it bigger. He wants her around more, but she herself, guys, just now it's like, look at the video, right? She was ingratiating herself into, like, right, if she didn't want it, think about it, right? It is creepier, it is worse. So it's like she's not doing it because she's such a nice woman, she's doing it because and I said before, because of their weird relationship, there was this somewhat, looks like some sort of sex abuse, not abuse. You know what I'm talking about? You're talking about it. He's a creep. He's a real, like, he was looks at her or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? So she feels like she could do anything. You know, she could take whatever she wants from dad because he screwed her over in some way. So she's like, whatever. So she manipulative. That's the word. Okay, manipulative opportunist. Okay, so, oh my god. Okay, so, okay, guys, I don't have a lot of time. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, I'm just gonna. Okay, okay. So you know what, guys? Okay, so is he getting physical therapy? Something? No. Is he getting? No, no, he's not getting anything serious. Okay. So next, guys. Okay, now I want to know. Okay, oh my God, guys. I'm sorry, you have 10 minutes. I'm going to go quickly, okay? Now let's move to the GOP and the Trump presidency in general. Is there anything in place for his health? Okay. Okay. Is there anything in place for his health? Is there does the GOP know? They're like, yeah, Turtle is like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? But Turtle is like, the judges, the justices, like, they're willing to put up with Trump because they think that Trump is the means to an end. And once they have the total control of the SCOTUS, then they're like, we'll have it all, bitches. We'll have it all. We just need to get through with it. We need to bury the Mueller report, the Mueller thing, and that's it. They don't really care about Trump in that way. He's the means to an end. And then they can be like, government, we can be in government forever. But we need to change a few more things. That's what he's thinking. Okay. So have they prepared Pence for this, or do they have a plan? What are they thinking? They're not thinking. Oh my God. Guys, I find it hard to believe, okay, that the GOP doesn't care. They're like, whatever. They always thought he was a freak, but not like this. Okay. Like, they didn't realize he was, because there's a lot of really, really old guys there. Okay. But so it doesn't mean that no, it doesn't mean that because you're old, you're good like this. But they're realizing that there's this whole other thing. And so they just, guys, I said this before, it's all about short term. Okay. Okay. Now, one important question some of you asked was about Nancy Pelosi. Does Nancy Pelosi know? Is there this thing of the 45th Amendment, 25th Amendment? Okay, is the 25th Amendment, is this gonna, has it been floated? Someone asked, is this why Pelosi doesn't want to impeach, because of 25th Amendment? How is they thinking? Okay, so what are they thinking? The 25th Amendment. They're like, okay, so what are they thinking? Does anybody have a plan? Guys, interestingly enough, I see John Kelly, back in the day, talking to the generals, they were his friends, I guess, or something. They're like, he's not well. I think this could happen. He's telling them the drill. He's like, I know it. I know he's not together in that way. Okay, so they know they have these, and I feel like, and for some reason, guys, I think somebody's keeping track. They're using it. They're making. There's witnesses to his mental state. They're keeping it. So what about okay? What does Nancy think of his condition? He is out of it. He's guys, but I don't want to scare you or anything, but I feel like the Republicans prefer, they want the government to crash. Like they don't want democracy to work, basically. So they don't really care. For them, it's like chaos is kind of good. I know it sounds crazy to say it, but that's it. They're not like, oh, how are we gonna run the government? How are we, because this whole thing, guys, is kind of like, imagine it's almost like a bank robber got away with every bank robbery. It's kind of like this. You're like, wow, we were so lucky. You keep getting away with things. Obviously, they plan everything, but it's like they don't have, I mean, this sounds crazy. It sounds crazy, but that's my sense. So what does Pence think of this? Does he think he's going to take over? No. Jesus is with me. Jesus is going to tell me what I'm supposed to do. I just find it hard to believe. Why can't they? Because they're saying all of, oh my God, guys, the Republican Party doesn't, they're saying, oh my God. Oh, now I kind of understand it. They're saying we can't win fair elections. They're very aware of it. And they know that right now Trump was powerful, that he created a new narrative of the party. So if Trump leaves, it's over. Oh my God, guys, can you believe it? So they have to prop him up at least until after the next election. Because if he leaves before, they're not going to have somebody to take over. Isn't that crazy? Oh my God. Can you imagine? But that's it for them. They're like, you know what? Just keep him doing whatever, because we don't, if Trump leaves now, they're in real danger of not winning in any way the election. So they have to keep him because he's the brand now. Oh my God, guys. Oh my God, that's really kind of scary. Okay, so how is his dementia going? Is this dementia going to play a role in like how he leaves? Are they gonna okay, bring it. What are they gonna do? How does Nancy see it? She knows, but she knows, like I was telling you guys, the thing about Nancy, she knows the Republicans, they want chaos. She knows, and this is the thing that we don't. This goes back to, it's not how I think, but this is like, she's an extreme unrisk taker in this sense. She senses the country could be like Syria or something. They could be more and more divisive if you, so she wants things to come out in the, okay, I know, but this is like, it's like she's saying this country is in much bigger danger than you guys know. So I can't do it. I don't, this is very unwise to do it. I'm gonna be here. She's like guys, and she's there like a statue, holding the country together from her perspective. Okay, so until all the stuff comes out and everybody can move in that direction without any doubts, she wants it to be kind of organic. Okay, in that way. Okay, now, oh my God. Okay, okay. I'm just gonna go over other questions here. So, guys, oh my God, I don't know what to say. There's no resolution here. I feel like, right? I have like 6 minutes, but you know what I mean? Is that weird? I mean, I wish I had an answer. Oh my God. Okay, so more questions, more questions, more questions. So, okay, so what else? Quick question. So, anything else? So, okay, so how does this? Okay, I saw the military. So, how does, on the other thing, guys, I'm going to start packing, okay, as we talk. But one thing I saw before was that I saw the military. How do I say this? The Republicans have been approached. They're saying, look, Trump is out of it. It's obvious. You can't go on for much longer, but they don't want to do anything. I'm serious. Okay, and this is, I understand the thing with, the reason why they don't want even Pence to take over, because they feel like the Trump they can win elections. And since the whole thing is based on a crime, they're very afraid of the consequences, which they should be, right? So that's why, they are in a very dire situation themselves. Oh my God. So what's going to happen? How is this going to Guys, okay, I know I've seen the military taking over, and it's not like I want to ask a devil's advocate question, but I just want to ask maybe again this question. So, how is the military going to manage to remove Trump? If no, guys, I'm. Did you see? I no, no, seriously, guys, I took. Did you see? I spoke to my throat. Did you see? I spoke to my throat, and it's all. I said my throat. I told my throat, no, you're not going to. And now it's okay. Did you see? It worked. It worked. So anyway, so this is the question that I still, I understand that it happens, but I don't understand. And I also saw that Mitch McConnell doesn't want to move. But how does the military manage to remove him? If Mitch McConnell, like this is the thing, guys, how do they do this? How are we going to get rid of it? Because it's like, what is it called? The blind leading the blind. But these people are crazy. They're criminals. They're afraid of justice. So what's going to happen? How are they going to be able to remove Trump if he's doing so badly? Because guys, he can't manage, right? So how is this gonna how okay. Guys, it's so weird to me because I feel like, before I saw that he is not. This is the thing, okay? Oh my god, it's crazy here. It's crazy. So I feel like oh my god, they go to Mitch McConnell too. I told you before, he says no, but I feel like they tell him, collectively that he's under indictment, and they offer to negotiate for, like, he doesn't have a choice in the end, okay? And I feel like there's just, but it's so dangerous because, you know what I mean? They have to do this at the same time while Trump is president. And I don't think that the indictment of Mitch McConnell comes out until after Trump leaves, but they're negotiating with him based on it sounds crazy, guys, but this is it because, like I said, is this whole thing of the attack is already happening. The thing about the submarine. And by the way, guys, I don't know if you saw it. I posted the links to it. I did the research also after the reading. And there's this news from, like, the place where the ship stuff happened, called the Barents Sea. It's near Norway, okay? And there's this news thing called the Barents Observer, and they said that NATO, right before this happened, NATO had already was doing anti-submarine exercises there at exactly the same moment, the same era, not era, the same, kind of period of time, I think. So you know what I'm saying? There's something there. I think the Russians went over NATO. They were messing with NATO, and they was like, bitches, shut your mouth. Who do you think is in charge here? We are. You shut your mouth. And did you see the thing, guys? Did you see the day after this happened, like yesterday, Trump was saying something about NATO. NATO this. Why was it? I'm sure it was because Putin was like, bitch, they sunk our submarine. What the hell? So this is it. Why is he saying no NATO now? Let's not NATO. We don't need NATO because NATO is after the Russians, right? NATO is the only thing that stops the Russians. Think about it. It was like really scary, guys. I don't know. It's like I'm learning a lot about military history and stuff because, one second, okay, because it's really like, wow, we had no idea of all this stuff. So what I'm saying? It's kind of like, wow. So anyway, so that's that. I feel like I still think they're gonna remove Trump. Okay, I think I'm gonna remove Trump because I tell you, because ultimately it's a situation. It's so urgent. Okay, it's not something where it's optional. Is that if they don't remove him, they can't protect the country. So this is how it's gonna go down. That's what I think. Ultimately, I still believe it. Because guys, did you honestly, seriously, when I see this stuff about his health, and it's not even internally about the enlarged heart and all those things. And you guys know that even Reagan, he was kind of not cuckoo at the end, and he wasn't removed because they knew he was powerful. Like, people liked him. Very different. I'm not saying like I'm defending Reagan, but he had actual. I think he was a very good orator. He was very well spoken and he was popular, whatever. So, but with Trump, it's like they don't know. There's no solution for them. It's like if you don't have this guy is like a miracle worker for us. He makes it so since they pegged the entire brand onto him, they can't get rid of him. You know what I mean? It's kind of interesting, right? So it's the right. So oh my god, it's crazy. Couple minutes. I'll have a conversation. Guys, did you see? I'm very good now. I'm very good. It's kind of amazing. I'm just have to drink, but otherwise I'm good. So, guys, that's it. Okay, but it's just yeah, the health. And guys, I feel bad. This reading is almost like I didn't look into anything. I feel like, but I did. Right? It's just like a lot. Just talking about his health. And right today, just looking back at the reading is almost abstract, but it was just like that. It was like how Ivanka, how his health is really bad. Oh my god, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's crazy. It's crazy. So I think I'm gonna do tomorrow, but I'll see. I'm gonna wait to see how I feel tomorrow because I don't wanna. But there's so many questions. There's so many questions. Too many questions. Too many questions. I still have questions. Still have questions. So this is it, guys. Okay. So I just if there's any comfort to the situation is that it's gonna end because there's no way. There's nothing else to do. There's no more choice. There's gonna be a choice. You know what I mean? Interesting, no? So it's not gonna be like, oh, how are we gonna get rid of him? Like, no, it's like that's it. It's gonna be unsurmountable and undeniable. That's not working. So okay, all right, guys. So tomorrow, I think I'm gonna do, but like I said, tomorrow I'll wait. I'll be here and I'll wait until to see how I feel. All right. So see you later, alligators. Okay. All right. Okay. Bye.